Welcome to the last part of the Weekend Dive Challenge. So this is Weekend Dive Challenge 37 and in this part we'll be seeing flight booking engine project. So in this basically this is a booking system that talks about integrity. When a user book tickets, two things must happen. One is the seat count must decrease. One more is the payment must be processed. So if these two things happen, then it is basically like the user has the ticket is that seat is being reserved for that user. So this is basically a transaction management to ensure that these two steps happen. If both of them happen, then we have to commit. If either of them fails, then we have to roll it back. All right, so let's see the entities. One is the flight and one more is payment info. The repository is flight repository and payment info repository, followed by booking service and flight controller.java. Flight.java is basically the structure. So here we have the getter and setter. First we have the all arguments constructor, parameterized constructor that has the ID, flight number, destination and available seats. So these are the four things we'll be focusing on. So again we'll be using getter and setter to take the ID and set the new ID, get the flight number, set the flight number, and again get destination, set destination, get available seats, set available seats. For this is for the flight. Next we have the payments info. So this payment info we have to we have to have the ID, passenger name, amount and the flight ID. Alright, so we'll be linking this with the flight ID. So first we have the get ID of the payment ID and set payment ID, get passenger name, set passenger name, get amount, set amount, and get flight ID, set flight ID. So these are the things we have in the payments info. Now comes flight repository. We have the flight repository, all the flight repository and payment repositories. Now comes the main brain of the problem or the project. That is the booking service. So first we have to do the constructor injection, that is the connecting it with the repositories. The two repositories are one is the flight repository and one more is the payment repository. We have to connect, we have to use the constructor injection. Here we have the whatever the flight ID we have to fetch it. So basically we have to check if the flight ID is present. If the flight ID is present, then we have the flight. If it is not present, then we say flight not found. Now next comes the validation of seats. We have to check if the available seats is greater than or equal to 0. If it is greater than 0, if it is less than or equal to 0, it says the flight is completely booked. If it is not less than 0 or equal to 0, then we say okay, seats are left. Now we have to check if the amount is greater than 500. If the amount is greater than 500, then we have to say an error saying limit exceeded, transaction rolled back. For the payment validation, next comes the payment, saving the payment. All right, so next comes the after the saving payment, we have to say give a confirmation saying this booking is confirmed from this passenger name. Then we have the flight controller, which it controls all the like acts like a manager. So again, constructor injection for the repository. Then comes the endpoint for seat count. So here we have to get the flight this thing. So if the flight is existing, then we have if yes, the flight is the existing. If it is not existing, then we say the flight is not found. Again, whatever we did here, we're doing it again. Next comes the endpoint for booking. So here in this booking, we'll be sending it to the booking service .flight book flight. So then the payment info would be the input for that. Now it checks if the response is there. If the whatever the seats is existing, if it is booking is happening, then it says okay. If it is not if it is not there, then it throws an error saying it rolls back. It doesn't commit. If the the flight existing is there and the payment info is confirmed, then it commits, or else it rollbacks. Now let me run the program. This is quite interesting to see how it works, how it runs. So we need the Spring backend to run. Yeah, so now I'll enter the name and the payment amount would be $400, confirm booking. So my booking is confirmed. From 10 the seats became 9 now. Next one more is again $450, confirm booking 8. Now I wanna show how the this thing works. I roll back. So I'll click on Akshay again. This time I'll enter $600. Roll back, transaction failed, payment failed, limit exceeded, the maximum limit exceeded. Flight to Bangalore. Alright, so let me submit the program. I hope you guys have understood the solution. If you have any doubts, type in the comments below. So the test cases have passed, and that's it for this video. That's it for this weekend as well. So if you want to practice most of the problems or get yourself ready for interviews, then you can go pro on CodeChef, and you can practice all these problems on the CodeChef platform. So give this a try, and that's the next weekend video. Thank you.